Hey everyone, Decav13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Alright, so we're continuing through. We have to investigate the town again, it seems. So we can get over to the bridge by Miyama, but, you know, this time we're investigating with Saber. Thought I'd put it off a little bit, though, because I do want to see, what new events we're getting. Because we do have a bunch of new events to see. Saber, we do have one here with her. Let's go check out who's in the senior hallway at school. I'm curious.
Hmm?
I looked back towards the voice trying to stop me. Who? And discovered an underclassman I'm sure I've seen somewhere. Oh, Mitsuzuri's little brother. I was wondering who the hell this was.
Now
that I think about it, I've seen him around since early spring. Sakura vouches that his archery skills aren't too shabby. Mitsuzuri criticizes him as all show and unacceptable, but she's the type that's harder on her family, so he might just be the club's most promising ace.
姉ちゃんの弟ってやめてもらえませんかね。君っていうのもやめてください。らしくない。みのりとかお前とか呼び捨てでいいっすよ。エミヤ先輩。
じゃあみのりでいいか。
ええ。それぐらい気安い方が楽でいいでしょう。
I wonder if he's being impolite on purpose or because he just is. Either way, I can't see he makes a good first impression.
で、何か用があるのか、みのり。呼び止めたのはそっちだよな。
あんたに用なんてないですよ。ただ、部活もやってない人間がブラブラしてるのって目障りじゃないですか。エミヤ先輩、そんなんでも元弓道部だし、一応何やってるか聞いておこうと思って。
It's very blunt.
ちょっと調べ物をしてたんだよ。そっちは部活の帰りか。
分かりきったこと聞かないでください。弓道部が終わったついでに教室に荷物を置きに来て、その帰りです。
I see. But even then, this is the third year's hallway. I don't think there are any first year classes here. We both keep our silence. Minori seems to have something on his mind, but he's certainly not saying it. Strange. He doesn't seem the type to hold back.
弓道部の調子はどうかな。部員として新部長をどう思う？
I want to hear from a first year's perspective, not that of Mitsuzuri or Fujine.
麻藤部長はよくやってると思うけど、俺も含めて素人が多いから結果が出にくいだけで、来年になれば誰だって納得するよ。
そうか。さくらのことだから一人で頑張りすぎてないか心配だったんだ。部員であるみのりがそう言うなら安心だな。
辞めた人間が何言ってんだか。部長にはあんたの心配なんていらないよ。たく、未練があるなんてみっともね。
Does this kid have a thing for Sakura? He's full of hostility. Perhaps Mitsuzuri's little brother is really upset by the fact that I quit the club.
なあ、途中で辞めたことで突っかかりに来たのか？
別に先輩に意見なんてないですよ。あれだけ車が立ってるのに途中で辞めるなら余人にはわからない理由があるんでしょうし、弓道場に顔を出すのもまあ勉強になるし、その日だけ姉ちゃんの機嫌も良くなるしで悪いことは少ないっすね。
I don't get it. The wildest hostility.
用がないならここでいいか。もう少し校舎を回りたいんだが。
いや、ちょっと待てよ。あんたに用はない。あんたに用はないけど。姉ちゃんがあんたのが詳しいって言うからさ。その、部長の趣味とか、好きなものとか、教えてほしいんだけど。
I mean, understandable. Now I get it. No, in this case, it'd be hard not to.
ちょっと聞いてるんすけど、知らないならいいっすよ。それはそれでいいっすから。
いや、それなりには知ってる。けど、それを聞いてどうするんだ？くだらないことに使うなら話はここで終わりだけど。
別にあんたに答える義理はないですけど。
俺もそっちに教える義理はないんだけどな。
姉ちゃんの言う通り食えないやつ。
The boy curses me softly. His attitude is a little stiff, but Minori seems to be a reasonable guy otherwise.
ですね、知りたいのは俺個人の問題ですよ。悪用もしません。贈り物の参考にするだけです。
なるほど。つまりさくらが好きなんだな。
Bullseye.
別に好きとかそういうんじゃねえよ。ただもうすぐ秋大会だろう。部長疲れてるみたいだからなんとかしてやりたいだけだ。
He answers calmly, except that his burning red face is about to set me ablaze as well.
なるほどなるほど。で、さくらのどこが好きなんだ？
人の話何も聞いてないっすね、あんた。
聞いてるってば。聞いてるから教えてほしいんだって。
誠実さゼロ。言いたくないです。
He turns his face away. And again, silence.
どこが好きってわけでもないんですけど。麻藤先輩、美人だから。
It seems like he gave in to the silence. Yep, I'm sure Mitsuzuri loves to make fun of a character like this.
美人だからってえらく抗議的な理由だな。そんなこと言ったら三つも美人だぞ。
姉ちゃんなんかと比べんなよな。そもそも姉ちゃんは女じゃないっすよ。
Jesus Christ. Oh, wow. That's one bombshell of a statement to make while Mitsuzuri's anywhere within a kilometer-wide radius from here. This man is not to be underestimated.
いえ、今のは言葉のあやっすから。
Yeah, it's not gonna end well for you if she finds out you said that.
ああ、頼まれても言わねえって。
She'd shoot me to death first if I did. I don't want my friend to get a criminal record, but more importantly, I value my life.
話を戻そう、みのり。で、部長のどのあたりが好きなんだ？
その大人っぽいところとか。
ふむふむ。他には？
たまにみんなに見えないところでお茶こぼして赤くなってるところとか。めったにないけどはしゃいでる時の柔らかそうな感じとか魅力的だと思うけど。
ふむふむ。次はこっちの番だな。さくらの趣味は今のところ料理ぐらいで、好きなものは江戸前屋の大判焼き。欲しがってるのはカジュアル系の洋服かな。
Not too sure about the last one, but I think I heard her say something like that to Ryder the other day.
あんたさ、俺にそこまで教えていいのかよ。
仕方ないだろ。そこまで言ってもらったら教えないわけにはいかないじゃんか。
The third bout of silence. But since it doesn't look like there will be anything accomplished after this, I'll end it here.
じゃあな、秋大会頑張れよ。
いや、あんたに言われなくてもできるとこまでやりますけどね。
And Minori goes on his way. Well, what do you know? I knew Sakura was popular, but to think that even Mitsuzuri's brother...
けど、大人っぽいか。
Caught me off guard. What can I say? Maybe it's just Minori-kun, or maybe that's how the underclassmen see it. Either way, Sakura has become one fine senpai. I think Fujine said something like that before, didn't she? That a lot of the new recruits came on because they admired Sakura. Alright, so let's do another walk with Saber. At North Residential tonight. Nothing that noticeable on this end of the residential district. There's just no one walking outside, but there's nothing out of the ordinary otherwise.
確かな異常はありませんが、何か妙な違和感を覚えますね。
More like the facts are contradicting each other. We can hear the peaceful clamor of families enjoying their post-supper evening. The eve at Miyama is still lit up by the lights coming from the houses. So then why is it that on a normal evening like this, we haven't passed by anyone else?
まあ危険はないんだからいいんじゃないか。次に行こうぜ、次。
I turn my back on the Japanese-style end of the residential district.
そういえば、今そこの家に人が入っていったぞ。お父さんが会社から帰ってきたっぽい。
What looks to be the silhouette of a person smoothly enters the dwelling without even ringing the doorbell.
そうでしたか。私は気づきませんでしたが。
セイバー側からは見えなかったのか。
Huh.
まあ、とりあえずちゃんと誰かとすれ違ったってことだな。
Now that the missing piece has been put in its place, we should go somewhere else. Let's see. Shinji at the harbor. Okay. The hell is he doing over here?
シンジ。
A little before 10 in the morning, the port is still empty and there's no one but Shinji just standing there.
釣りをしてるってわけじゃなさそうだな。
The hell is he doing here? He's just staring absent-mindedly at the sea, empty-handed.
おい、シンジ。何やってんだ？誰か待ってるのか？
うるさいな。ほっといてくれ。どうせね、僕は嫌われ者なんだ。どこ行っても出番はないし、会ったところで色物だし、気分転換に釣りに来れば変なのに絡まれるし。
That's really what your existence should be relegated to.
どうよエミヤ。さくらの出番の多さに対して僕3回だぜ。すっげえ。片手でも指が余るって正直調整おかしくない？つうか兄より優れた妹など存在しねえ。
No, there is. It's evidenced with you two. Shinji moves to a far corner of the port. He curls up into a ball like a pill bug. I think he might be about to lose it. He'd probably welcome a cardboard box to cover himself up. Seeing him down like this, I try to hold back the tears welling up in my throat.
バカ言うな。負けるな、シンジ。立ち上がれ、シンジ。
He's kind of a wet towel in this one,
そ
huh?
ういう不遇な扱いに全く気づかない。周りの空気をこれっぽっちも読もうとしないのがお前の強さだったはずだ。
Are those strengths, though? I try my best to cheer him up.
やだね。疲れたね。もともと僕は陰湿な性格なんだね。正しい麻頭の血を引いてるんだね。
Well, at least you're able to identify that you're a terrible person.
じいさんも親父も親父の弟もこういう風に端っこで悩んでるのがお似合いなのね。
Shinji curls up even more. Well, it takes an extraordinary person to behave in such a manner at a place as pleasant as this.
いいからさ、さっさとよそに行ってくれない？僕は運命の相手を待ってんだよ。
Destined opponent.
僕が主役になる最後のチャンスなんだよ。手ぶらのエミヤに用はないんだよ。
He shoos me away. I can't really think of anything else to try right now. I'll try coming back here later. What the hell that was about? So I'm at school. I'm curious. What if I go see Lancer right now? At the harbor, there's a familiar face. Okay, so, yeah, what is he doing? The sky is clear. The autumn mood is covered up by the intense sunlight. The soft ocean breeze gently caresses my face. Only the screeching of seagulls breaks the peaceful silence of the docks. Without argument, this is a perfect location. Fuyuki Harbor seems like a place that would be favored by families or couples going out for a walk, and yet... With the arrival of this gangster-looking guy, it's transformed into an ominous place no one dares approach.
けど、違和感ないよな。
In fact, the harmony is downright frightening. Like a swordsman naturally becoming one with his surroundings, this has to be the skill of a pro. As a token of admiration, I'll get a can of coffee from the vending machine.
おい、釣れてる？
ああ、ぼちぼちってとこだな。サバ山、黒鯛4、カワハギさんってところだ。
なんだそれ、節操ないな。
海だしな、種類が多いのは当たり前だ。ま、それにしてもちょいとばかり混ざりすぎだが、珍しいんだからいいんじゃねえの？
He sure doesn't seem to care. As I pass over the canned coffee, I sneak a peek at his fishing bucket. There's actually even more variety in the catch than Lancer said.
サバ多いね。
なんでか知らねえけど入れ食いでな。そうそう。ちょっと前まではタコが釣れた。
Huh. Is that a magic fishing rod? At this rate, this guy could rule the sushi world. Wait a moment. Looking carefully, there's a critical problem.
ランさ、一日中ここで釣りしてるんだろ？竿がけないのか？
As the name suggests, a fishing stand is something that supports the fishing rod. It's an indispensable piece of equipment for long fishing trips. Fishing rods are fairly heavy, and in some cases even a slight vibration will cause the fish to flee. If one is to fish using a rod for half a day or more, a stand is a necessity.
ああ、あったら便利だろうが、俺はいらねえ。竿と糸で海の様子を見るのが楽しいんだよ。いや、当たりがでかければもっと楽しいんだけどな。
As Lancer keeps grumbling, his fishing rod remains motionless. Lancer's arm strength is simply astonishing. Not just the strength, but his machine-like precision and stamina as well.
言われてみればそうか。あんたが最近の道具に頼るわけないし。その竿はそこいらで拾ったのか？
おう、親切な兄ちゃんがいてな。
A generous person.
へっぴり腰を1日かけて直してやったらよ、お礼にって譲ってくれたのさ。なんでか次の日から顔見せなくなったけどな。
Lancer laughs out loud. Coach Lancer. That sounds more like extortion. Yeah, huh.
いや、マトンとこの兄ちゃんなんだけどな。
Oh, it was Shinji.
ってシンジかよ。
Man, no wonder he's always moping at the edge of the docks.
で、せっかくもらったんだからフル活用していると。それで毎日釣り三昧なの
definitely
か。
explains why he's so defeated, because he's getting the shit beaten out of him by Lancer every day. Man, Lancer, you're great. Fucking love you, man.
あんたがおとなしくしてる分には安心だけどさ、釣りってそんなに楽しいのか？
楽しさを伴った鍛錬ってとこか。こいつにはちょいと自信がある。こと釣りに関しちゃサーバント中最強の自負があるね。ギリシャの大英雄はともかく、どこぞのコピーバカや竿も持てねえ貧弱王子には入ってこれない男の世界だ。
Ah. I just felt a crevice opening up. I sense an imminent storm approaching this small dock.
いいのかな、そんなこと言って。口は災いの元だぞ、ランサ
うん？陰口の報復があるってことか？そんなもんお前が言いふらさねえ限り広まらねえよ。
I don't have a good feeling about this, buddy.
ま、広まったところでどうってことねえけどな。殺し合いがしたいなら受けて立つだけさ。
No intention to start a conflict, but willing to accept any challenge. Is that Lancer's attitude? Lancer yanks up the rod.
サバか。
サバだな。
Apparently unsatisfied with his catch, Lancer removes the hook and tosses the fish back into the ocean. The conversation ends here. There's no place harder to cope with than a fishing ground with nothing to talk about.
邪魔して悪かった。引き続きサバを釣り上げてくれ。
おう、差し入れサンキューな。
I leave the docks behind. People, they can't understand each other if they don't communicate. To me, the dock is extremely boring, but it's Lancer's favorite place to be. The docks are as joyous as a summer day. I pray that tranquility won't be ruined by any senseless intruders. Alright, When we come down the hill, the town is completely changed. The lights have died out and there's no sign of any human activity. Even still, this uninhabited town is full of breathing. So this is different since we have Saber with us now. It's an uncomfortable frequency, almost like a whisper. Meaningless hatred arises within me. It must be the bestial scent in the air. I feel strong anger at this enemy I have yet to see.
シロ、民家には誰もいません。人間という形が冬木の町から消え去ってしまっている。
Not mass slaughter, but disappearance. It seems what Saber saw was corpseless, bloodless murder scenes.
不可解な現象です。これが聖杯戦争を再開させた何者かの仕業なのでしょうか。
そうだろうな。他のサーバントは誰もこんな真似はしない。それよりセイバー、さっきから聞こえるこの声をどう思う？
声ですか？いえ、私にはこれと言って。いえ、確かに何か聞こえてきますね。これは犬の鳴き声でしょうか。
She narrows her eyes, trying to focus on the harsh sound. The voices become louder and louder. The shrill sounds reverberate between my skull and my brain, stimulating my instincts.
シロ、何かあったのですか？顔が土毛色をしている。まさか大気に毒が。
Yeah. Now that she mentions it, these voices are nothing other than poison.
私は武装しているので少々の毒気は弾きますが、シロは無防備です。一旦エミア邸に戻りましょう。ライダーがいる以上大事はないと思いますが、やはり気にはなります。
いや、俺は大丈夫だ。それよりこの声をどうにかしてやる。今日が終わるまであと2時間しかない。
シロ、気持ちはわかりますが、見つけると言っても手がかりがない。ここは無理をせず戻るべきでは。
This isn't like Saber. I've been hearing the clues all this time, up to the point of blatancy.
家のことはライダーに任せよう。今はこの声を追う。
シロ！
I run ahead of her. My sense of balance is getting destroyed by the breathing of these beasts swirling inside my ears. They can't be too far off. Tonight, Saber's with me. I shouldn't lose no matter who I fight. The howling changed into roaring. At this point, there's no need for me to say anything to Saber. That's because the enemy is in front of us. The things that wiped out all the people in the city. And the woman are all here, flocking to a girl I've never seen before.
あいつらは。
I know I've seen them before, yet my memory fails me. Just a little more. If the clock strikes midnight or somebody tells me, I will remember. They howled, making jarring sounds of movement. A frequency outside of my hearing range. The herd informs me with certainty, with voices that no human could ever make out. A beast raises its head. Wringing its claws, it rushes at me as if it was crawling.
シロ、下がって！
Saber moves forward in a flash. She cuts through the mysterious beasts. I don't know what force moves these monsters, but it's obvious that they're no match for Saber. She should be able to clear them out without any problem.
なあ、俺は。
I'll catch that girl watching us from deeper inside of the park. She's got to be the one behind this real-life Twilight Zone if she's in charge of these beasts. I slip past the monsters that are being thinned out by Saber.
どこへ行くのです、シロ！ダメだ、私のそばを離れては。
The monsters keep attacking her. They swarm around Saber desperately, probably having instinctively realized who the most powerful being is in this area. I don't like leaving Saber behind, but this is my chance. They'll never be able to outmatch her, no matter how many of them attack together. The best they can do is buy time. I can use this chance to go after their master. All this time, the girl has been simply watching us without running away. I can do this. I don't feel any threat coming from that girl. I already know that I'll be able to catch her by myself.
大したマスターね。セイバー一人にあの怪物たちを任せるなんて。
A voice lacking any emotion. Her clothes remind me of a lifeless doll. I'll save the chit-chat for later. Right now, I'm going to catch this girl in front of me. I grab her arm.
捕まえた。おいお前、一体何者だ。いや、それより早くあいつらを止めろ。止めないのなら。
I was about to say I would use force on her. However,
暴力で抑えますか？別に私は構いませんが。
what the fuck?
随分とあなたらしくない考え方をするのですね、エミヤシロ。
She sees through me and replies with heavy words that I've tasted once before.
俺を知っている。やっぱりお前が聖杯戦争を再開させた元凶か。
ええ、こんな形で再開させたのは私です。事態の解決を望むなら、あなたは私を捕らえればいい。けれど今回は失敗です。私たちはここで出会ってはいけなかった。
My vision flickers in an instant.
ノリメタンゲル。
Oh. My limbs are restrained by a cloth with a will of its own.
なんだこれ。
I can't move. The cloth is only restraining my arms and legs, and all that's pulling on it is that girl's slender arm. So why the hell am I having trouble even breathing?
抵抗は無駄です。男性にはこのマグダラの聖骸符は破れない。
My body creaks. Thankfully, the restraint that's holding my entire body doesn't seem to have enough power to tear me apart. In fact, this seems like a mystic code that specializes only in restraining its target.
あなたを殺める気はありません。失敗したのですから、このままおとなしく。
The girl's face starts convulsing. I hear a quiet sound. The sound of flesh being torn apart and the smell of blood drifting through the air. Her face distorts in pain. What's going on? Nobody could have hurt her, yet there's blood trickling down her body.
大丈夫かお前。普通じゃないぞなんか。
I'm the one tied up. Whatever that girl is going through sure looks a lot worse.
ああもういいから布をほどけ。苦しいんだろ。何もしないから楽になれ。
Wonder how much of that she believed. The girl slowly moves her collapsing body.
こんなにあっけなく取りつかれるなんて。やはりあなたは。
Leaving that interesting remark behind, she staggers away.
無理すんなバカ。そもそも逃げんなら布をほどいてけ。
The red cloth is doing its job even with its master gone. I can't move, can't breathe too well, just as I'm about to pass out.
無事ですか、シロ。
Saber's sword cuts through the red cloth. The horde of monsters is still all around us. She came to save me in the midst of her own battle, no doubt. Not letting her guard down, Saber keeps her sword pointed at the beasts.
先ほどの布は何だったのですか。この怪物たちにあんな能力はありませんが。
俺もよくわからない。とにかくあの女の子を助けじゃなくて捕まえなくちゃ話にならない。
は、女の子ですか。
あっちに逃げたんだ。今ならまだ追いつく。すまないセイバー、こいつらの相手を頼む。
Leaving Saber to cover my back, I run off. I don't know the cause, but that girl was injured. I want to know who she really is, but first those wounds have to be treated. The trail of blood continues onto the tufts of grass on the riverbank. She's lost a lot of blood. If something isn't done soon, she could lose her life. A voice of suppressed agony. The girl is lying in the tall grass to hide herself.
おい、そこにいるな。手は出さないから逃げないでくれ。聞きたいことはあるが、そっちはあんたの傷を見てからにするから。
やめ、逃げて。
I hear the sharp sound of ripping flesh again. This isn't the time to be worrying about traps or a counterattack. Urged on by the smell of blood, I step into the grass. The girl's injury is worsened. I don't know what happened, no, what's going to happen, but I keep walking closer, unable to let things go on like this.
やめて。見ない。
Her agony intensifies. Every step I take, it gets worse. seems almost sexual somehow. The gasps of pain grow hotter bit by bit. With each step, I dig deeper into her body. What? Little by little, I expose her body. What the fuck? If that's the case, the moment I reach her, she'll climax. What the fuck is this writing? One more step. Part of me thinks I could treat her body, and then...
いけないダメです近づいては
Another part of me doesn't want to approach, knowing I'll die.
なんだよそれ
Red liquid backed up, pouring out of my mouth. I looked down at the sinister weapon that penetrated my stomach.
それさすがに
I've seen many things up until now, but none of them ever lived up to the horror in front of me. Huge claws are coming out of her slender body. So that wound came from the inside. While gasping in heat, the girl formed that monster and impaled me as I got close. I'm fading out. I'll die here, not even needing to wait until the next hour. But still, the knowledge I gained is tremendous. This was not the right place. I cannot meet her here. To learn her name, it has to happen at a place closer to the source. Engraving only that onto my memory, I released the consciousness that I kept linked to my body. And on the verge of death, looking at the figure of the girl that gave birth to this weapon, I suddenly remember a demon from a fairy tale. Heaven's Feel 5. That's a new one. Final night. We cannot meet here. We also finally arrive at the night where she was first noticed. Okay, so we can't meet her at the park at night. Okay. Let's see. Something new at the temple. Alright. Yeah, we saw that before, Fujimura in the temple. Oh, right, this was new. What the hell is this with the ghost house? Incidentally, I overheard a rumor at a street corner. On the outskirts of Shinto, in a forest beyond the church, there stands a Western-style house, and nobody knows where it came from. The rumor spread with surprising swiftness. It seems there are people who have actually found it, too.
物好きなやつもいるもんだそんな噂話を立てたやつもいちいち洋館を探しに行ったやつも
One of these curious fellows is right here. Man, don't I have better things to do? I wonder, is this the house Bazette is in? I think it
やば
is.
一発だ
The rumored haunted house was quite easy to find. By the way, I never did get to hear what's so haunted about it. I have no business being in a place like this. There's probably nothing inside, and it'd be trespassing to begin with. I guess I should go.
まあせっかく見つけたんだし
Stop. There's nothing there. Don't do anything pointless. Don't look at anything unnecessary. No, this is wrong. Close, but if you keep looking at a slightly different place.
完全な廃墟みたいだしな中の様子を見るぐらい多めに見てもらおう
I open the unlocked front door. I walk down the hall unused for many years. I go up the long, long staircase. I'm an idiot. No matter what I told myself, I just couldn't stifle my curiosity. And now here I am. Yeah, it
う
is.
わ見事なまでに普通の家だ
Here I am, going through all this trouble for nothing.
放置されていたのに綺麗なもんだ管理人がいてたまに掃除に来るのかな
I examine the dust on the floor. Judging by the amount that is piled up, it's been around 6 months since the last time the house was used.
嘘だだってここには
No evidence remains here. It was so cluttered, yet where did it go? All traces of life have been completely erased. There's nothing suspicious in the least here. The unknown servant and unknown master never existed to begin with. That's what I was saying. There's no point in looking here. I feel dizzy. For a moment I saw an image that wasn't my own reflected in my eyes, but it soon vanished.
あれ、何考えてんだ俺。別に何を探してたわけでもないのに。
The momentary flash of insight faded in an instant. It must have been just an incoherent daydream. Given that there's a caretaker, this is unmistakably trespassing. I need to get out of here quickly. There's nothing here anyway. I'll go search someplace else. Interesting. Alright. Oh, own room. Sakura. What's this?
先輩、ちょっといいですか？
As I rest in my room, I hear Sakura's voice. Sure, I reply, and she comes in.
あれ、俺洗濯物出してなかったとか？
いえ、そうじゃないんですけど、今日の晩ご飯どうします？
ああ、もうそんな時間か。
I rise up. Weekends mean that a lot more people are coming over for dinner, and we might not make it in time if we don't start soon.
今日の当番さくらだったか？
はい、何か希望があれば。でもセイバーさんとか藤村先生の希望も聞かないといけませんね。
わかった、手伝おう。
My break has been interrupted anyway. It will be more meaningful to help out Sakura now.
でも先輩はお休み中じゃ。
十分休んだ。まあさくらが俺の手がいらなくなるぐらい上達してるなら俺の出番はもうないけど。
そんなことないです。まだ先輩から免許改伝は受けていませんから。
それはよかった。じゃあ仲良く一緒に料理するか。
先輩、その笑顔は反則です。なんでもないです。はい、じゃあ遠慮なくお手伝いしてください、先輩。あれ、この段ボール。
Sakura notices something and stops. Yeah, that's the box of fruit Fujine brought over.
柿が2箱もある。また全員で食べないとな。
藤村先生のお裾分けですか？ありがたいですね。うわー、たくさんありますね。これで全部ですか？
藤姉の家にはもっとあるらしいけどな。
リンゴだったらパイにしたりすれば結構早く使えるんですけどね。柿はどうしましょうか？
Might just work. I start picking them out of the box. The size should be about right.
さくら、今日の食材はこれにしよう。
これって柿をですか？
ああ、リンゴに劣らず柿も料理に使える。サラダとかにするだろう。だから今日はこいつを使おう。
It'll certainly be a first. It's about time I start exploring the culinary frontiers, though. The god of cookery must have put these in our house to guide us.
面白そうですね。
じゃあ個数は適当に。硬いやつから選んでいって、柔らかいのは晩にデザートにしよ
わかりました。
Sakura uses her skirt to carry the persimmons. How should I put this? It's a really feminine thing to do. I'm actually a little envious of the persimmons now lying on her skirt.
先輩、どんなメニューにするんですか？
Sakura asks as she washes the rice. I did say I was going to use them, but I can only stare at them now piled on top of the cutting board.
う。考えてみると思ったより柿のレシピないな。
まずサラダにします？大根ありましたよね。
大根と柿ならナマスという手もあるか。サイドメニューから決まっていくのは問題だな。
No matter how much I stare at them, no ideas come to mind. I finally give up and look inside the refrigerator for more ingredients. A lot of ingredients, it's like solving a puzzle.
これとこれ。これも使えるな。
ベーコンですか？あ、炭焼きにするんですか？アスパラガスやジャガイモみたいに。
Gotta give it to her. It's pretty accurate for just glancing over the ingredients. It's like she hasn't noticed the dumpling wrapper cheese, though.
こっちは包み揚げにする。柿を拍子切りチーズと一緒に餃子の皮で揚げる。
なるほど。味付けはお塩だけですか？
だな、両方とも。甘みが出るから下手に醤油とか入れるとダメになりそうだしな。
Either way, it's still a pretty simple dish. We're yet to leave the side menu territory, though.
すごいですね、先輩。私はちょっと思いつきませんでした。じゃあ今晩の献立は
柿のサラダか和え物、柿の包み揚げ、柿のベーコン巻き。
Sakura's reaction is only lukewarm. I know what she wants to say. The dinner table would indeed look pretty desolate with just this much.
お味噌汁に柿は入れられませんし、あ、ご飯は柿の混ぜ寿司にしますか？
それもいいけど、やっぱりメインがないわけだ。そこでだな、マトシェフ。
As I assume my didactic tone, Sakura straightens her back in attention.
はい、なんでしょう、エミヤチーフ。
いい反応ありがとう。それでだな、今日は柿尽くしの食卓。これがコンセプトなわけだが。
はい、コンセプトなわけですね。
Chef Mato's eyes are fixed on me, full of anticipation.
で、そのメインを張る主催はぜひマトシェフにお願いしたいと考えているの
Just
だ
to
が。
dump it on her.
ええ、考えているんですね。
Sakura is surprised at her recently gotten big role.
それはごめんなさい先輩。私アイディアがないというか。
いや、割とネタはある。じゃあヒント。今日は柿尽くしの食卓だ。
はあ、あ、もしかして。
Sounds like she picked up on it. Wasting no time, she gets out a package of seafood from the refrigerator. That's right, since it's the Persimmons special night.
カキですか？
さあ、
柿だけに柿と牡蠣。ただの語呂合わせだけど、両方とも秋の食材だからな。
Decided the menu based on wordplay, eh?
なるほど。先輩、お見事です。少々ベタかなと思わないところはありませんが、それでこそ私の先生です。
That's a complicated way of speech my student has adopted.
いや、話を戻そう。冷蔵庫の牡蠣だけど、これさくらが買ってきた？
はい。本当は殻付きの生がいいんですけど。
レモンで食べられるほどの新鮮なやつか。贅沢はできないよな。で、牡蠣は何がいいかな？フライ？
あ、私グラタンにしようと思ってたんです。フライもあるといいですよね。
Alright, we're all set in both concept and variety. With the dishes planned, there shouldn't be any complaints. Even Fujine should be happy.
じゃあ手分けしよう。サラダとグラタンはさくら。焼き物揚げ物は全部俺で。
そうすると先輩の方が仕事多くないですか？
ホワイトソース引くところからさくらやるんだろ？だったらそっちの方が手間になるんだし、火加減のあるものは一人でやった方が仕上がりがいい。
We skillfully divide up the workload. Preparing food for this many people, we have to plan the oven schedule, and even with 2 cooks, it's quite a lot of work.
じゃあ始めましょう先輩。
まずはかきむきからするか。あ、種があるから切る向きはちゃんと確かめないとダメだぞ。
はい、頑張ります。
Alright. For a walk with Saber. And we'll go to South Residential. We go down the opposite side of the residential district from the Emiya household. From the entrance of the neighborhood to the hill that Tosaka's house is on, there was nothing out of place.
唐突ですが、リンの家とさくらの家の違いをどう思いますか、シロ。
どう思うって別に違いなんて考えたことないけど。なんだよセイバー、いきなり変なこと言い出して。ここまででおかしな点にでも気づいたのか？
いえ、この巡回とは関係のない話なのです。前から疑問に思っていたのですが、本人たちの前では聞きづらいことなので。
聞きづらいことね。じゃあ魔術関連の質問か？
そういう話ではないような、あるような。つまりですね、リンの家とさくらの家ではどう見てもさくらの家の方が大きい。ですがこの土地の管理者は遠坂です。
So what you're talking about their house is just from like a size perspective, or more angles to this, Saber?
漁師たる者が進化の家より狭い住居に住んでい
Oh
るの
no,
は
just
どうか
the
と思い
size
ま
of
し
the
て。
houses. Saber's not one to worry about money. Rather, she's the type that I would prefer to be more fussy about money. But I think this is more of a case of former king having particularly strict evaluation criteria for colleagues. The person that governs a piece of land must have an appropriately furnished estate, is the way a member of royalty would think. Moving on.
どうなのでしょう。肉親から搾取したくないというリンの気持ちはわかりますが、これも漁師たる者の責務です。くだらぬ圧力を生む前に遠坂邸を増築するか、魔党邸を没収するよう忠告すべきなのでしょうか。
Advice like that may well end up with a sisters' quarrel that will leave the whole of Fuyuki in ruins. The scary thing is, Tosaka would probably agree with Saber's point.
その忠告はやめてくれ。だいたいな、領主ったってあいつは影の領主だろ。あんまり目立っちゃまずいってことで、あえてささやかな生活をしていると見た。
Well, as modestly as you can live in a mansion at the top of a hill.
言われてみればその通りだ。リンが普段から節制しているのは遠坂の当主としての位を隠すためだったのですね。
うん、そういうこと。だから間違っても遠坂にリンはあえて貧窮にあえいでいるのですねなんて言わないように。被害を受けるのは俺だから。
The damage will be done to him instead, yeah.
ええ、リンの友人として彼女の努力を見て見ぬふりをするとしましょう。
Tosaka is blessed to have such an understanding ally. Of course, it's a misinterpretation, but it's all fine as long as the result is the same.
納得いったところで戻ろうか。こっちに異常はないだろう。
Conversation I was not expecting to have tonight. But alright, thanks, Saber. As after a long detour, the moon marches on. Before it gets straight overhead, let's do what needs to be done. Okay, so we got the Saber in the living room here. Oh, quite a few things. Let's go to Tosaka residence. Who's hanging out over here? The residential district's topmost house, the Tosaka mansion. With the master gone, it is now Fuyuki's haunted house in both name and reality.
そこ、俺が掃除することになるとは。
Oh, he's cleaning Rin's house. Standing in front of the gate, I look up and mutter. Tosaka's somewhere in Britain right now, and she asked me to come clean the house from time to time, so I don't have much choice. For that length of time, I think it would be just enough to just keep the doors and windows shut, but since she asked, I really should do a proper job.
手早く終わらせるか。
Taking out the keys, I recall the incantation to release the seal. There are 2 layers of locks while she's absent, so anyone other than Tosaka will find it rather difficult to enter.
Abzug, Bedienung, Mittelstand.
Did it deactivate? The key turns and I pull out a mountain of newspapers and letters that were blocking the mailbox.
うわ、宅配便と郵便の不在票がこんなに。俺の家に転送しておけばいいのに。
If I can't get in, it'll be really funny. Not for me, though. If I tell Tosaka that I wasn't able to do any cleaning because I couldn't get the key to work, who knows what kind of scolding I'd get.
開いた開いた。お邪魔しまーす。
For a brief moment, I'm stunned. The room, lined with a soft carpet floor, is full of expensive antique-looking furniture.
いやーどこから掃除すればいいんだこれ
Being used to a purely Japanese-style environment, I'm at wit's end. That really expensive-looking Nouveau light stand over there looks fragile enough to break if you touch it wrong. There are tons more things like that everywhere. Now Sakura will be used to cleaning Western-style houses. I regret not bringing her along.
ライダーもいれば効率よく掃除できるしな人手が足りないな
For now, let's just air it out and wipe off the dust. I give the room a once-over, open the shutters and open the windows. It really is kind of dusty.
さて掃除道具は下か
Probably in the storage room under the stairs. Which reminds me, Tosaka did tell me something really mean. She said that if I become her live-in apprentice, I would have to sleep in that storage room. Am I a maid or some kind of boy wizard or something?
さて
Good reference.
軽くやってみるか
Flapping the brush, I dust the room. Rather than just cleaning, this is more like going sightseeing in Tosaka's house for the year-end cleaning ceremony.
そうだ地下室あったよな
I look through the bunch of keys for the one to the basement. There it is. Western-style houses are also grand for having basements. Movies and novels tell me that a mansion's basement should have a wine cellar or stuff like that. What should I do if it has a dungeon?
ここか
Even if it's pretty much the same as the storehouse at our place, the tension of knowing that many rituals have been held here makes me hold my breath. Thinking of what Tosaka must have done here stirs deep emotions. However, that's not what caught my eye.
ダンベルとか妙にこう
She trained
な
down
んつう
here?
か
She's got like one of those combat posts too. What's athletic equipment doing here? I wonder. Hula hoops. Not to mention the exercise ball. Not sure how to comment on its presence. Actually, Tosaka did say she was doing push-ups and sit-ups before going to sleep. Sooner or later, she'll bring in all sorts of equipment and it'll look just like a gym.
さすがにしないかそこまでは
The dumbbells don't suit her room, so she probably decided to put them here. However, I think I've seen something even more private than the contents of her dresser. Oh, I just realized the sandbag too.
まあとりあえずここはこのままで
Let's just pretend I never saw any of this. The house should have gotten plenty of air by now, so I guess I'll leave early.
アンファン見てるしたんと
Did I lock it well? It's starting to bother me again. I can at least tell that if I don't improve my magic, things are going to be tough. In more ways than one. Okay. House. Oh, Ryder.
ところでシロは私といて楽しいのですか
The sudden question causes my hand to stop halfway through turning the page.
何でもありません難しい顔で読書をしているシロを見てどうぞ気にせず読書を続けてください
It's been 30 minutes since I started reading in Ryder's room. Sometimes I excuse myself into her room to read like this, but it's probably the first time she's tried to speak to me as I'm reading.
いや難しい顔をしているのは活字慣れしていないからでここの空気は快適だぞライダーの方こそ俺がいて迷惑じゃないか
私は別に気にしませんよ目を休めるために顔を上げた時シロの難しそうな顔があるのも慣れました
そっかなら遠慮なしでっと
Shoving the mountain of books aside, I grabbed the next one. I found one in English, but it was completely beyond me. Let's try something normal next. So, what's with this all-out girly harlequin romance stuff?
へえあらすじは面白そうだなライダーこういうのも読むのか
Was it any good? Is the message I'm trying to convey through my stare?
興味深くはありましたですがそれがシロにとって面白いかどうかは
So not that great. Well, this one looks a little long, so I'll put it off until next time. Let's go with this short one about a swordsman.
あそうだライダーお茶飲むか口寂しいなら用意するけど
いえ、私は特に。シローが飲むのならご相伴に預かりますが。
Was it unnecessary to interfere? Since Ryder's so into reading, then I should immerse myself into it too, or just borrow a book and go back to my room.
シロー、
ああ、邪魔して悪かった。部屋に戻るからライダーは読書に没頭。
ですからシローは気になりません。その簡単な質問です。シローはどんな読書傾向なのですか？
This is a rare occurrence. Maybe her book isn't that interesting.
そうだな、何でも読むけど何かに特別思い入れはないというか、こうやってお邪魔するのもライダーが読書家だから影響を受けてるだけだし。
無趣味なのですか？なるほど、あなたらしい。
She laughs. I feel kind of like a kid being laughed at by an older woman.
なんだよ、ライダーだって似たようなもんだろ。ここにある本、ジャンルがバラバラで統一されてないじゃないか。興味がありすぎるってのは要するに特別なものがないってことだろ。
特別に好きな本です。なるほど。確かに好きなジャンルがあるということはありませんね。ですがシロー風に言うのなら、私は読書そのものが趣味なのです。
ああ。
I clap my hands together. Ryder doesn't distinguish between non-fiction novels, periodicals. Ryder just likes books themselves. The type is unimportant to her. Well, I get this passing curiosity about what ultimate collection Ryder might be hiding in the closet over there.
いや、待て待て、早まるな。そんなの見ようとしたらそれこそ命がない。
何でしょうか、シロ。一瞬ひどく怯えたように見えましたが。
いやいや、ともかくライダーは読書自体が趣味と。けどさ、それなら特別面白い本とかあったろ？そういうのがあったら教えてくれよ。
そうですね。面白いという基準ではなく、出来がいいというものなら何冊でもありますが、シローが今までどんな本に感銘を受けたのか教えていただければ。
今まで感銘を受けた本か。そう言われると困るな。
Book that really left an impression on me. I can't really say I've had one like that. I've never given myself much time for reading until now, and it shows.
まあ、これからはライダーがいるから読む本には困らないけど。けどライダー、読書もいいけど、それ以外の趣味はないのか？ライダーはスポーツ万能なんだから、他に遊びを見つければいいのに。
遊びですか。今でも十分安楽な生活を送らせていただいていますが。
いや、そうかもしれないけど、もっとこ
う。Ryder doesn't go out to Shinto on her own. Perhaps, just perhaps, date level arrangements are the only thing she would go out to Shinto for.
ご心配なく。私は私で気の向くままに楽しんでいますから。そうですね。あなたの知らないところでは何をしているかわからない。
Seeing her seductive smile, my heart skips a beat. She says that she's doing something I don't know about. With a face like that, I really can't help but imagine bad things.
ご安心を。町の人々から血を吸うようなことは決して。単に私なりに羽を伸ばしているだけです。私も女ですから、シローやサクラが心配するほど堅物ではないということかと。
That seductive smile turns into a happy one. I'm just about to breathe a sigh of relief when...
ライダー、いる？
サクラですか？どうぞ。
Sakura enters. I get up to make room for her as she comes in.
ライダー、ちょっと聞きたいこと。あれ？先輩も一緒ですか？
ああ、 ちょっとお邪魔して本を読んでた。
ええ、シロは時折このように過ごすのです。私の部屋を図書室だと思っているのですね。
Ryder says that as if giving up in amazement. But her voice was soft, so she must not be all that dissatisfied with such treatment. And I am happy that she thinks that way.
ああ、そういうわけなんで、俺のことは気にしないでくれ、さくら。本を読んでるだけ。だって、あ、そうか。ライダーに相談があるなら席を外すけど。
Sakura looks at me, then at Ryder.
先輩、ちょっといいですか？
いいけど、なんだよ。さくら、ライダーに用があったんじゃないのか？
そうですけど、先輩に休養を思い出しました。
Oh.
だから来てください。
そういうことならいいけど。ライダー、本このままにしていいか？戻ってきたら続き読むから。
ええ、そのままにしておきます。しかしさくら、私に聞きたいことは何だったのでしょうか？
いいの。それはまた後で聞けばいいかなって。
What's in this tension? Ryder's thinking about something with a grave expression.
申し訳ありませんでした、さくら。
ライダー、なんでそんなこと言うの？
ですから申し訳ありませんでした。何に反省しているか言葉にしろというのでしたら。
いいです。そのままでいて、ライダー。
ではそのように重ねて申し訳ありませんでした、さくら。
Sakura starts backtracking. I don't know what Ryder's apologizing about, but I guess receiving those apologies can be quite burdensome.
それでさくら、俺に用ってなんだ？
いいからこっちに来てください、先輩。
She drags me out, and Ryder, as if completely oblivious.
シロ、唐突ですが気が変わりました。その本はお貸ししますからごゆっくり。私は一人で読書をしたくなりましたので。
でもライダー、さっき。
もう先輩ったら早く来てくださ
Sakura really does not want him to be here.
さくら、夕食のことか？魚はやっぱり俺が焼いた方がいいとか、冷蔵庫のサンマの本数が足りないとか、お米は新米がいいとか。夕飯の話じゃない。じゃあ弓道部のこととか？
Sakura finally stops. Whatever her story is, she takes a deep breath and then... She tilts her head in confusion.
さくら、
すみません。何の用だったんでしょうね。
That's what I'd like to ask.
すごい物忘れだな。さくら、最近疲れてるのか？
いえ、そんなことはないんですけど。
いや、そんなことある。今日はゆっくり休んでていいぞ。夕飯は俺がやっとくから。よし、そういうことで俺はライダーの部屋に戻って本を。
Sure, no.
ダメです。先輩、そうですね。ですからお夕飯です。
Make something up.
今から支度しましょ
She's way too energetic. I guess I was just mistaken about her fatigue.
いいけど時間早すぎないか？
う。いいんです。やっぱり4人も5人もいると昔より大変ですし、なんといっても食欲の秋ですし。
いや、まあさくらとセイバーはそんな感じだよな。あと藤姉も。
はい、ご飯の美味しい季節だからいろいろ頑張っちゃったりすると素敵ですよね。
She laughs unnaturally. Feels like she thinks she'll lose something if she doesn't drag me into the kitchen right this moment. Yeah, you.
わかった。さくらにとって今日の夕食は大事なんだな。なら俺も気合を入れる。手始めにライダーに何が食べたいか聞いてくるか。
Probably gonna stop. No, you know what? How about I go ask her?
ダメです。ライダーは食事には無関心なんです。
okay, we're just
だから聞いても困らせちゃうだけです。
Something's up. No, way to catch on. Sakura's behavior is way too suspicious. But even then, this is... how should I put it?
ほら見てください。実は先輩のエプロンも持ってきちゃってるんです。なんとおろしたてのカニ玉プリント。先輩に似合いそうだなって内緒で買ってきちゃったとっておきです。
Look, it really does fit you, she says, overjoyed. I really don't know why, but this in itself... how should I put it? Just looking at it makes me feel energized.
よし、事情はつかめないが、さくらの気迫は分かった。俺でよければ精一杯手を貸すから、みんなが驚くぐらい豪華な夕食にしよう。
やったー。ありがとうございます、先輩。
I did it.
早速エプロンつけちゃいましょう。
Yay, she puts the apron on me, overflowing with joy. Alright then. There's been a change of plans, but it's refreshing to see Sakura's smiling face. I'll try all my tricks to make something grand tonight. Oh, Sakura. Oh, you can be a little bit thick at times, huh, Shiro? Alright, so one more area to check, and that's the temple. There are no signs of life at the temple gate. There aren't any noticeable changes here. The mountain is almost an hour away from town, and has always been wrapped in silence. I've been to Ryudo Temple with Saber before, but this is the first time we're visiting at this hour since the last Holy Grail War. I wonder. No way it would happen with just me alone. But with Saber, I'm starting to zone out a little. This has to be the spot where... the end of something is sleeping.
シロ、
悪い、考え事をしてた。何か感じるか、セイバー。
不穏な空気は感じません。何か新しい異常があるとしても、ここが襲われるというのは考えづらい。何しろキャスターの根城ですからね。外敵に対する防御は完璧でしょう。彼女は聖杯戦争が終わった後でも他のサーバントを警戒していますから。
ああ、たまに竜道寺で話すけど、いまいち遠巻きな感じだしな。久月先生の言うことには、普通の近所付き合いに慣れてないだけだから多めに見てくれだそうだけど。
Well, when you think of her backstage plotting, it is a little hard to suddenly start being friendly with each other.
で、セイバーはキャスターをどう思う？今回の異常に関わってると思うか？
擁護するわけではありませんが、彼女の仕業ではないでしょう。仮に聖杯戦争が再開されたところで、彼女には叶えるべき願いはない。
そうだな。この状況が続いてほしいと思ってるのは、俺たちよりキャスターの方が上かもしれない。あいつにとっては今まで得られなかった平和だもんな。
Well, putting that aside.
外敵への守りは完璧って、アサシン以外にも何か仕掛けてあるのか？
ええ、神経質なまでの防御結界です。初めから三門の守護者として呼び出されたアサシンはともかく、戦時下でもないというのに一月ごとに仕掛けが増えている。ここまで来ると守りのためではなく趣味で実験しているのではと勘ぐってしまうほどだ。
So that's what's making you distrust Castor. Supposing that, by some accident, Castor did become friends with Saber, they'd have the sort of relationship where they'd quarrel with each other outside of public view all the time.
しかしまあ、それなら中まで探る必要はないな。異常はないだろうし、逆に藪をつつくことになりかねない。
I want to avoid being mistaken for attackers. The other onlooking servants aren't going to just stand around if a fight broke out over something as insignificant as this.
そうですね。ここはアサシンに任せて町に戻りましょう。正確にやや難のある人物ですが、 いたずらに非道を許す人間ではない。真剣勝負を娯楽のように仕掛けることもありますが、それと同じように平穏を楽しんでいますから。
Saber's right. As long as assassins protecting the temple gates, no suspicious characters will be entering. Let's see. Something new at the temple. Oh, new Ilia event. Yeah, let's go see Ilia at the station. Taking her to a toy store. No later than she produced that joyful utterance, Ilia dashed into the shop.
イリア、走ると危ないぞ。
My voice can no longer reach her. Well then, seems like I've been left all alone at the storefront, but... I'm pierced by all kinds of stares from around me. This is a boys' prohibited fancy shop, and the discomfort is nothing to joke about. An urge to flee takes over me for a brief moment, but I can't just leave Ilia behind.
シロ、こんなところにいたの？遅い。
Ilia returned to leave me inside by the hand. Only with that did the stares from around me soften up a bit. To begin with, we're here simply because she asked. Oh, because she saw Saber's stuffed lion. During one of her raids, Ilia saw Saber with her usual stuffed lion. After teasing Saber for a while.
これ、私も欲しい。
I love those little gremlin sprites, they're so funny. And thus we're here to buy Ilia a stuffed toy. Saber's lion is a unique item. Fujine won it at a game center, so I can't get another like that. So instead I'm going to buy Ilia a stuffed animal she likes.
どれがいいかな。
Well, leaving that aside. She does look charming in her own way as she examines all the various toys.
ねえ、シロ、私たちってどういう関係に見えるのかな。
どうって、そうだな。
Siblings would be impossible. Our hair and eye colors are completely different and we look nothing alike. We're too close in age to be parent and child. Well, going with the most appropriate.
可愛い女の子とその面倒を見ているお兄さんってところじゃないか。
可愛い？本当に？
うん。イリアは可愛いと思うぞ。
Flattery or not, I think Ilia is cute just the way she is. But then that doesn't extend to the part about Berserker and saying things like, I'll just kill you. That's where terror surpasses it by a wide margin.
じゃあ、そんな可愛い子をエスコートしてるんだから、シロも大変ね。
何がさ？
なんだっけ、そういう小さい女の子が好き
You know,
な
I was
男
kind
の
of
人
hoping you
と
didn't say that,
間違えられ
Ilia.
ちゃうんじゃないの？リンに聞いたんだけど、なんていうのか忘れちゃった。
Thanks, Rin. Oh, great. What on earth did Tosaka teach her? On the other hand, it's a perfectly logical assumption after seeing me walk around places like these together with Ilia. If I get spotted by a classmate, who knows what misunderstandings will happen. Well, the rumor with no basis to it will just stay that. A baseless rumor, so I should maintain my dignity.
それともシロ、本当に私のものになっちゃう？
Oh, yeah. Ilia clings tightly to my arm. I take back what I said. There's no way to do this in a dignified manner.
いや、それは無理。大体だな。人を自分のもの扱いしちゃダメだぞ。
As gently as I can, I shake her off my arm, staying as discreet as possible.
いいわよだ。そのうち、あの時素直に私のものになっておけばよかったなって。
そうなったらいいな。
Apparently dissatisfied with my answer, she puffs her cheeks and goes back to looking at stuffed animals. Eventually, she finds something cat-like and turns back towards me.
ねえ、シロ、これなんてどう？
Would you call that a Catman or something? At any rate, that's the toy she's holding out in front of me.
だらけた猫にしか見えないな。俺にはぬいぐるみの良さはわからない。イリアがそれでいいと思ったんならいいんじゃないか？
何言ってるの？シロの新しい体になるんだから、真面目に選ばないとダメじゃない。
Ilia, don't say something like that. That's scary. Come again? What did you say just now?
イリア、ちょっと待ってくれ。それはどういう意味だ？
内緒内緒。
No, don't you fucking say that now. Her eyes happily move on to the next toy.
逃げようかな。
That might be a good idea, Shiro. I already hate myself for thinking that I couldn't leave Ilya behind just a moment ago. No, that was surely a joke, for sure. But to be on the safe side, I better splurge on some dessert on the way home just to curry her favor. Yeah, you don't want to upset her. Saber in the courtyard. That's about the only other new thing we have. As I casually look around the courtyard, I notice that there are quite a lot of tree leaves scattered around. I've got some time. I guess I'll clean up a bit. There's no wind or anything to scatter the pile, so it should go quickly.
シロ、何をしているのですか？
I look over my shoulder towards the voice and see Saber, who must have come from around the entranceway.
セイバーか。見ての通り、庭掃除だけど。
I lift the broom to reinforce my point. She looks at the leaves piling up and breathes out a sigh.
一人では大変でしょう。なぜ誰かに手伝いを求めなかったのですか？
いや、なんとなく。一人で片付ければいいかなって。
シロ、一人よりも二人でやった方が早く終わるし、一人の負担も減ります。家には私たちがいるのですから、一声かけてくれればよかったのです。
She is right. Don't need to do everything by yourself, man. While I'm still standing there in a daze, Saber snatches the broom out of my hands.
いや、まあそうだけど。
いいですか？手伝いを求めることは悪いことではありません。手の空いているものがいれば、それを使うのはごく当然のことではありませんか？
She thrusts the broom handle right at my face.
あ、うん。善処する。
よろしい。前向きになっただけよしとしましょう。
Saying that, she helped me as if it was the natural thing to do. Saber sure is a hard worker. The plan was just quickly go through the yard, drag out the bike trailer, then pile up all the leaves and dead wood on top of it. As we ran around the yard, the trailer soon filled up.
シロ、この集めた落ち葉はどうするのですか？
普段ならまとめて燃えるゴミに出すんだけどな。
But since there's so many of them this time, there's something I want to try instead.
普段なら、
Oh,
というのは
is this the sweet
どういう
potato
意味
thing,
ですか？
but now we have Saber with us?
なあ、まだ時間もあるし、焚き火でもしよ
焚き火ですか？
う。なあ、せっかく集めたんだから有効利用しないと。それに、今日はこういうものもある。
I show her the bag I brought from the kitchen.
それは何でしょう？
さつまいも。焚き火でこれを焼いて食べるのがこの国の伝統なんだぞ。
伝統ですか？
Well, that's probably an exaggeration, but you could say it's a part of the culture at least. Wrapping the potatoes in aluminum foil, I bury them under the leaves and ignite the whole pile. It hasn't rained recently. The wood is dry and the fire grows nicely.
随分と手慣れているようですが、シロはこのようなことをたびたびしているのですか？
いや、焚き火なんて年に1回か2回やるかやらないかだよ。
Listening to the fire pop and crack, I look to my side and see Saber, her face far more gentle than usual.
懐かしいですね。
焚き火が？
ええ。暖を取るときも、調理をするときも、明かりを取るときも、火は欠かせぬものでしたから。こちらではあまり見ることがないので、こうしていると懐かしく思えます。
That's right. Gas and electricity have only been around for about 100 years, and out of all servants, there's only one that would be used to it that I can think of.
こうして火を見るのは落ち着くものです。
What does Saber see on the other side of the flame? Flames are not something that brings pleasant memories to my mind. The image that she sees will be different. The leaves are almost all burned off, and the fire finally subsides. Being careful not to disturb the dancing black ash, I dig out the baked potatoes with a stick.
よし、これなら十分焼けてる。
Work gloves on, I brush the soot off and wrap one in a newspaper. It hasn't been torn open yet, but the smell already floats up in the air.
ほらセイバーパス。暑いから気をつけてな。
I toss the first potato to Saber, then dig out the remainder out of the ashes.
シロは良いのですか？
全部取り出してから食べるから先に食べてくれ。熱いうちに食った方がうまいから。
では。
She takes one bite and a look of surprise appears on her face. As she stuffs the rest into her mouth, she nods with satisfaction.
うまい？
はい、とても。
Adorable. She looks extremely pleased with it all, that smile. Great. She was a lot of help, so let this be a little reward for all the hard work.
ところでシロ、この芋には焼く前にどのような下ごしらえをしておいたのですか？
下ごしらえ？そのまま焼いただけだぞ。
I did the second and third one out before wrapping them in leaflets. When I look up, Saber looks even more mystified than before.
どうした？
いえ、ただ焼いただけでここまで美味しくなるのですか？
まあ簡単な調理方法ほど食材の味を引き出すっていうしな。
The really delicious ones are made with just fire and salt, nothing else.
しかし、だというのなら、あの雑な料理とこの焼き芋の差は一体。
By crude cookery, I guess she means the dishes of her time.
ただ焼いただけっていうなら差はないと思うから、やっぱり材料じゃないか。
なんという不条理だ。あの時この味があれば、我々はまだ戦えた。
What is it she sees on the other side of the potato? Greater than the emotions that the flames have stirred? Could it be regret? Well, continuing to eat that sweet potato in the meantime is very much like Saber.
食べ物の恨みは怖いな。
何か言いましたか、シロ？
いや、何も。
And so we stayed there until sunset. A thin column of smoke rises steadily into the autumn sky. Nothing to disturb the two of us, just a plain campfire snack. This scene, gentle in its simplicity, brighter than the strongest summer sunlight, will remain shining in my heart. Alright, so let's go out for a walk with Saber again today. And since we have Saber with us, we should be able to cross the big bridge. Archer shouldn't be able to kill us right away. Crossing the bridge, we head over to Shinto. There's nobody on the pedestrian walkway at this hour. Tonight, with no cars on the roadway, the sound of the breeze from the sea echoes around us.
懐かしいな。あの時もこうやってセイバーと教会に行ったんだっけ？
ええ、まだマスターの自覚がなかったシロと、まだあなたのサーバントになっていなかった私と、まだ敵であったリン。こうして振り返ると、さぞおかしな三人組だったのでしょうね。
Saber chuckles. Both of us are laughing from the memories of that night half a year ago. I remember it even now. No, I'll remember it for the rest of my life. That night was special. All the time I spent with Saber during the Holy Grail War was special. But that night was the beginning of it all.
けどセイバー不機嫌だったよな。あの夜は初対面であんまり話せなかったけど、教会に向かう時は輪をかけて無言だったっていうか。
不機嫌にもなります。今だから言いますが、あの扱いには怒りを覚えたものです。演奏させるのなら他にやりようがあったのではないですか？
She was mad about the poncho. I see. Milady Saber was displeased by the yellow raincoat, Then again, she's using it quite often. Is that some type of silent protest against me?
何やら言いたいことがあるようですね。いいでしょう。あの時の謝罪を兼ねて、ここで決着を。しろ！
Sword bounces against light. The aftershock causes the air and bridge supports to vibrate.
下がって。敵サーバントの攻撃です。
second shot. I can't grasp what's happening. Saber stands in front of me, repelling the incoming bolts of light with her sword. Where they're coming from, I can't tell.
敵サーバントだって。くそ。一体どこのドイツが。
The third shot. Saber once again deflects the bolt of light. This is not good. That one was definitely more powerful than before. She managed to defend against the last shot, but if the rest keep increasing in force, how long will Saber be able to hold out? If Saber were alone, she would move forward while deflecting the bolts and could probably take the sniper down before she is defeated. But the one being targeted is me. The moment Saber moves away, I'll be pierced right through. As long as Saber's protecting me, she can't move forward. No. In the worst case, we may not be able to retreat to Miyama, and because of me, one of the shots will...
Shiro, 敵の攻撃は私が防ぐ。今はそのまま動かないでください。
The fourth shot. There's urgency in her voice. The enemy knows that I'm her weakness. Saber takes an unreasonable posture as she deflects the bolts of light raining down on a wide-open Emiya Shiro. At this rate, Saber's going to lose. I know what needs to be done. In short, defending myself is my own responsibility. I focus my nerves. I could see the incoming shots, and if they can be seen, they can be stopped. The old me may not be capable of it, but the Emiya Shiro that survived through the Holy Grail War must have the experience and ability to make that possible. And then the fifth and final shot. Saber's knocked off her feet. No doubt about it. These bolts of light are long-range shots using noble phantasms. No matter how powerful she may be, Saber cannot defend against long-range sharpshooting where each bullet is a noble phantasm. If Saber were alone, she could have avoided any number of them without having to deflect them with her sword.
Saber, 危ない!
ダメだ、シロ。私なら一撃くらい。
No, you can't. Saber will be defeated by the sixth shot. That is the conclusion drawn from this method of defense.
なめるな、俺だって。
I can watch my own back. I glare at our attacker. I see the light being fired, aimed at my forehead. I see it. Now that I see it, next I totally forgot. What was I supposed to do next? Well done. I screwed up. What was it? What did I do wrong? Was I forgetting something, or have I not learned something yet? Where had I missed the fundamental part of the skills possessed by the man named Emiya Shiro? My brain comes oozing out from the hole in my forehead. I can't really hear what she's saying. What should have been done? What was it that I forgot? My mind is becoming distant. I drop out of the race without even reaching the fourth day. This still wasn't enough. Perhaps I couldn't use it because I hadn't tried it, and just took knowing it for granted. Now, where do I go to fully grasp the fundamental abilities of Emiya Shiro? So there's still something I have to do before I can cross the bridge. Okay. Who am I? To restore the memory, I must understand once again. Okay. So, I guess I'll end things off here for today. And in the next one, I guess we'll try to figure out abilities. So, I'll see you all then. Bye!